Welcome to highlights of the Day 4 action at the European Handball Championships in Serbia. And defending champions France have their first victory. In the other match in Group C, Spain, France's conquerors on Day 1 took on Hungary. Croatia are cruising in Group D. Another win, this time over Slovenia, sends them through. Iceland came out on top in the big Scandinavian derby. And we preview tomorrow's crunch clash in Group B as Germany's hopes rest on a result against Sweden. First though, France are back on track for qualification to the next round after Monday's shock defeat to Spain. The reigning European, Olympic and world champions got the better of Russia in Novi Sad this evening. To climb off the foot of Group C, they raced into a 5-0 lead early on. Daniel Narcisse, who was top scored with 6 overall, got 2 of them. Took Russia over 10 minutes to get on the score sheet. They eventually did with a penalty from Edward Koksharov. Daniel Narcisse again on the counter. This made it 10-5 for the French. Nikola Karabatic came on, controversially left on the bench at the beginning after a poor showing on Day 1 against the Spanish. Got on the score sheet. 15-8 for France. That 16-8 they led at half-time. Karabatic to Arnaud Bingo, he scored 4. 21-15 that. The French always had the advantage throughout the course of the second period. 22-15 here, thanks to Narcisse again. France had goalkeeper Thierry Omeyer to thank on many an occasion. 3 saves in a row midway through the second period, keeping the Russians at bay, frustrating their opponents. Kovalev denied twice, and Timur Dibirov left frustrated with that middle effort. Xavier Barrachet to give the French some breathing space. 6 minutes to play, and then Narcisse rounding off a French victory, 28-24. With France off and running, Spain went into their clash with Hungary, needing just a point to be sure of progressing to the main round, and they got it just as Hungary scored a dramatic last-second equaliser that gives them their second draw. Juan Manuel Sierra was in great form in goal for Spain, controversially in from the start in place of Javier Hombrados, who played brilliantly against the French. Spain raced into a 3-0 lead early, stealing a hat-trick from Juan Caneas. 7 minutes in, and Hungary finally scored through Gabar Shazar, who was their best player throughout. Gergo Ivanchik with a smart lob. And Hungary really began to find a rhythm. Szabolcs Zsubai scored 5 minutes before half-time, as Hungary nudged into the lead 11-10. It will be 12-11 in favour of Hungary at the break. Tamás Moksai with the goal there. He and Shazar top scored with 7. Hungary attacking at the start of the second period too. Shazar on the end of the attack again. Influential pivot for the Hungarians. Caneas responded in kind for Spain. 16 all at that stage. And then Albert Interios scoring 2 goals in a row to give the Spaniards a 2-goal lead with 6.5 minutes to play. Around 20 seconds to play, Spain leading 24-23. Garcia attempting his shot, Shazar saving, and then Szabolcs with the effort. He hit the post, but Interios defended with his right foot in the defensive zone, and then right on the dot of full time, Gabor Shazar fired in the penalty. It was a thrilling finale and it finished all square, 24-24. Spain secure the point they required to take their place in the main round, which starts at the weekend. They face Russia in their final match. France must get something out of their final game with Hungary to be absolutely sure of avoiding a humiliating exit. Croatia sat on top of Group D after their opening win over Iceland on Monday. Another point against Slovenia, and they would be sure of a place in the main round. It's a tight game between these near neighbours, with the Slovenians getting their noses in front early through David Špila. 2 strikes from Doma Duvnjak, though, pegged Croatia level. They pulled away with Denis Buntic assisting Ivan Kupic for 10-6. Miklovic made it 10-8, then it was Kupic for Croatia. He was the game's top scorer with 9 goals, made it 13-9. A rebound goal for Luka Zvije for Slovenia. And then Igor Vodi for 16-12. That was the half-time score. Slovenia never led throughout the second half. Kupic 9 from 12 shots was in outstanding form. Next best, Blaženko Laskovic with 6 from 9. Primož Pros made a fine save, launched the counter-attack, which was finished off by Dragan Gajic. He was Slovenia's top scorer. That made it 20-20. And Ivano Balic came on. Plenty of time for him to make his mark. He scored 3 in the end. Another one here. Igor Vodi on target as well in the mixer. Miha Zvije made it 26-28. Alilovic in the Croatian goal played his part. Balic on target again as Croatia maintained their winning run. They won 31-29. The Norwegians had scraped past Slovenia by just a single point in their opening match. Olympic silver medalist Iceland had been beaten by Croatia, so the Icelanders badly needed something from this Scandinavian derby, and they would deliver. Alex Pettersson's early strike giving Iceland a 3-1 lead. Erlend Mamelund was frequently on target for Norway. This made it 7-8. He scored 10 from 14 over the course of the match. Iceland pulling away with Aron Pálmason. 14-12 there. Nip and tuck. Norway were ahead at this point with a goal from Lars-Erik Bjørnsen. Disguised shot, the Rukkelet, as the French call it. Bergerlund again for Norway. 2018. That was the half-time score. Guðjón Valur Sigurdsson made it 20-all. Iceland hitting hard at the start of the second half. Pettersson on target as well. It was then the Norwegians pulled away 25-21, but Iceland refused to be cut adrift. Kung fu goal for Harvard Sveiten. 28-25 Norway. 10 minutes to go here. And Guðjón Valur Sigurdsson made it 30-29. The Icelandics still trailing at this point. Then Björgvin Pál Gustafsson, the goalkeeper, made a fine save, launched the counter, finished off by Vignir Sverrisson. 33-32. Then Bjartur Merhol fell in the box, missed his shot. Referees ignored it. Then Robert Gunnarsson to round off a terrific win for Iceland, 34-32. Norway were furious at the end of that game. Croatia sit pretty at the top of Group D. They and host Serbia, by the way, the only teams with 100% records so far. Croatia play Norway last, with the Norwegians needing something from that game. Iceland, who jump into second place after beating Norway, play bottom side Slovenia. Germany take on Sweden in the final round of matches in Group B tomorrow, with the Germans hovering just a point above Macedonia at the foot of the table. The Swedes, with a win and a draw so far, are already sure of playing in the main round. Germany need to ideally win, but certainly avoid defeat, whilst hoping the Czech Republic can do them a favour by beating Macedonia. Well, the Germans scraped to win 24-23 in their second match over Macedonia. It overcame the disappointment of losing their first match against the Czechs. Dominic Klein says, I think the last game against Sweden will be different to what we saw against Macedonia. We know that we are capable of winning. We want to show it. Carsten Lichtlein was the man of the match against Macedonia. He was a surprise choice in goal ahead of Silvio Heinvetter. Martin Heuberger, the coach, has been tweaking his selections. There might be a few changes, we'll have to see. We know the Swedish team because we know some of their players who play in the Bundesliga and the Champions League. It wasn't the same against Macedonia. Both teams know each other well because we often play against each other, and that can only help. Sweden's progress has been reasonably serene by comparison. They drew with Macedonia 26-all, but in their second game yesterday beat the Czech Republic. It's 10 years since the Swedes won the last of their 4 Euro titles.
Not just for the points, you know, it's one question. The other one is how we play, and that was really bad against Macedonia, and that was what we have put our focus on to progress in the how we should play, two levels up. And I think we did it today, but we still have a long way to go.
In fine form against the Czech Republic with 6 goals was Henrik Lundström. We want to beat the Germans. They want to win too. We hope that the best team wins.
It's going to be a tough game against Germany, but it's good to know that we are through to the next round. But still, as I said, we need to focus on how we should play.
Sweden are the most successful European nation. They've won 4 Euro titles, but none since 2002. So this time tomorrow, we'll be telling you who's gone through from Group B after Germany have played Sweden and the Czechs have faced Macedonia. The Macedonians have it all to do if they're to avoid last place. Host nation Serbia are already through thanks to yesterday's 24-22 win over Denmark. The Serbs close round 1 against Slovakia tomorrow. Poland face Denmark. And before we leave you, time for our top 3 goals of the day. Ivano Balic on target for Croatia. The same match, Dragan Gajic for Slovenia. Goal of the day, though, comes from Gabor Šazar in Hungary's draw with Spain.